The 10 most dangerous cities in the world. Beautiful and unpredictable, this is Latin America with many gorgeous cities. Yet nature has taught us that everything exotic might be very dangerous. Check for yourself how terrible these cities can be. Number 10. Ciudad Bolívar, Venezuela. South America starts up this top. Venezuela is a very particular country with hills, plains, and glorious beaches. Ciudad Bolívar, with a population of 560,000 inhabitants approximately, is one of the most populated cities in the country and one of the most advanced on the Amazonian side. However, as a consequence of the current left-wing and military government, this city has lost much of its former glory. Due to the severe economic crisis, delinquency rules this country, and along with expropriations, have scared entrepreneurs away, triggering unemployment and discomfort. If this was translated into figures, it would be 264 homicides approximately in 2018 and a violence rate of 69.09 murders per 100,000 inhabitants. Alarming figures, aren't they? Number 9. Fortaleza, Brazil. Fortaleza is one of the richest and nicest cities in Brazil. The metropolitan area receives 4 million inhabitants approximately. The great culture, ideal weather, a productive economy, and diversity attract a bunch of tourists. However, it's also one of the most dangerous cities, with the crime just around the corner. Armed robbery is something common with tourists. It is distinctive of this city that during the day it is beachy, tropical, and beautiful, with charismatic and likable residents. However, the story is different at night. In 2018, there were 2,724 murders and a rate of 69.15 deaths per 100,000 inhabitants. It's a little frightening, isn't it? If you're a tourist, like me, take a taxi if you don't have local friends, and enjoy your trip. Number 8. Natal, Brazil. This amazing city is the capital of the state Rio Grande do Norte. It is recognized for its magnificent dunes, incredible beaches, and tropical weather the whole year. Sounds like paradise, right? And actually it is. Just, it's not one of the safest places to visit. Why? This tropical Latin destination has turned into one of the bloodiest cities in Brazil over the last years, holding a high murder rate. 74 murders per 100,000 inhabitants. And many of those murders were caused by drug issues, settling of scores, or shutting a snitch's mouth. Many of these murders take place in public spaces, but people wash their hands when it's concerned to testify or be witnesses for fear of being victims in the future. Something unbelievable and unprecedented, but real. The police are not okay with their working conditions, and the prison system is inadequate, making Natal the perfect paradise to have vacations mixed with adrenaline. Would you dare to? Number 7. Ciudad Guayana, Venezuela. The 21st century socialism has deeply affected the economy of this South American country. A shortage of food and essentials has made the streets start burning. It is located on the banks of the Orinoco River. Ciudad Guayana has recently formed a part of the lists due to its danger. It has an alarming murder rate, nothing but 78.30 people per 100,000 inhabitants. In 2018, a lot of deaths were caused by the law enforcement agency at accomplishing its job of subduing criminals. Besides, traders are always victim of potential looting and must stay alert to possible criminals. Despite the crisis, Ciudad Guayana is one of the most interesting cities in the Venezuelan Amazon forest. This city is near the Macagua and Guri hydroelectric dam, which make it a key city to the country. Number 6. Irapuato, Mexico. Now let's move on to North America, specifically Mexico. In Irapuato City, which is located on the north-central part of the country, many traders closed their stores due to the wave of insecurity lashing the place. Just in 2018, there were 473 murders committed in the city. It has a murder rate of 81.44 deaths per 1,000 inhabitants. Unbelievable. The crucial element that triggers this violence is the gasoline on the black market that was stolen from the Mexican state-owned petroleum company Pemex. Such an easy money attracts a mass of criminals. The over 500,000 inhabitants of this small city are very terrified of going to the police and report the payments demanded by delinquents to protect them. Likewise, the local police department is not efficient enough, so people have set up self-defense committees to confront the cartels that devastate this not-so-small Mexican city, which has so much to offer and not only alarming figures of violence and death. Number 5. Ciudad Juarez, Mexico. I'm sure you must have heard about this city at least once. However, its wonderful landscapes or the population is not exactly the reason why this city is popular. What draws attention to it is that it is located just some meters away from the United States, and the city of El Paso is just crossing the Bravo River, making this city a multicultural and important place to international trade, but it's a place ruled by crime, and public spaces are considered high risk. It holds such a high murder rate that reaches the unbelievable number of 85.56 deaths per 100,000 inhabitants. This is a very difficult situation, even the police are afraid of acting upon. Every action the police take, it is kept down by the criminal groups and vice versa. It is a combat arena. Despite corruption and drug cartels war, locals feel less afraid of it and are getting used to it. Number 4. Ciudad Victoria, Mexico. It's Mexico again. This is Ciudad Victoria, considered the most violent town of Tamaulipas. Authorities are responsible for hiding many of these violence numbers and blame the press for bad marketing of the city as it's in the 4th place. Although local government have tried to clean delinquency, kidnapping, and murders, there's not so much improvement, and people have gotten used to leaving their homes without knowing if they're going to come back. In Ciudad Victoria, there are 86.01 murders per 100,000 inhabitants. That sounds disturbing. Be really careful. If you have to get through that part of Mexico, make sure you go fast. Number 3. Caracas, Venezuela. For a few years now, the capital of Venezuela is full of violence. The political and economic crisis of this country has buried residents into poverty and scarcity. Therefore, it holds a high crime rate. Caracas' population is the most affected, with a murder rate of 99.98 per 100,000 inhabitants, and just in 2018, 2,980 homicides were recorded. Due to these numbers, the Belo Monte morgue has collapsed. Killing, extortion, and trafficking of drugs are an everyday reality. It's totally normal to have been robbed at least once in Caracas. Beyond imagination, isn't it? Businesses close down, people can't find jobs, and the crime rate rises. At night, residents just stay at home like it was a curfew. Public places, theaters, restaurants, and cafes open late at night only have sporadic customers, and they're empty. Another calamity that happens in this city is the impunity, since its justice system only applies to 2 out of 100 delinquents, and the death toll is inefficient. What chaos! Number 2. Acapulco, Mexico. Sun, beach, and sand. This city, worldwide recognized for its beaches and natural beauty, has become the heart of crime and death. Situated on the west coast of Guerrero, one of the most violent and impoverished states of Mexico, Acapulco is still one of the most popular tourist destinations, despite its high murder rate of 110.5 per each 100,000 inhabitants. In 2017, according to official reports, 2,868 murders were recorded. In 2018, 2,248 people died through violence. There was such a crime level that in September 2018, Mexican national and federal authorities took charge of the whole Acapulco police force. This was done following suspicions that criminal groups had infiltrated the city's local security forces. In addition, the prosecutor's office of Guerrero had been investigating for months the high police charges as potential responsible for homicide. Altogether, this is the result of the disintegration of several cartels that are now groups fighting each other to dominate the territory. Most of them are in the trafficking of drugs towards the United States, supplied by the trafficking of firearms from that country. Number 1. Tijuana, Mexico. This border city south of San Diego has got stuck on a wave of murders while the drug traffickers struggle to dominate the territory. The murder rate in Tijuana has steadily increased over the past 5 years. In 2018, a rate of 138 homicides was recorded per 100,000 inhabitants, with a total of 2,640 murders the same year. In the first 3 months of 2018, 450 violent deaths had been recorded. Victims include pregnant women and children. Murders between January and October 2018 left an average of 6.8 daily deaths. It's known that 80% of these terrible deaths are linked to drug trafficking, and only 20% of those responsible for these cases received a sentence. You saw them. Would you be able to walk their streets? Comment, and don't forget to subscribe to not miss surprising content every week. If you're a lover of situations full of adrenaline, I recommend these videos.